Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back on live to chop it up with y'all. There's some things that we currently need to discuss that's going on in the boxing world. We're gonna be talking about the WBO in due time, ordering Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. We're gonna get into Richardson, Hitchins versus George Kambosos, assuming that it is not assuming. Considering that it's fight week, and then we're going to get into some open boxing topics, you feel what I mean? Or just open topics overall, man. Whatever the fuck you want to talk about, music, you want to talk movies, whatever. It don't matter, man. Y'all let me know what it is, you feel what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's in the building so far. If you ever go ahead and hit that like button, that'd be very much appreciated. You see what I'm saying? Let's get the algorithm on the up so the people know that Mazuma TV is live. We on the road to 3K. We passed the mid 2,900 mark. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. Shout out to everybody that's in the building so far. Go get the money. What up? Agent 86 in the building. The Wrench Gang. What up? Kirsten Butler. What up? Go 787. I think it's time that Go 787 get a wrench, y'all. I think it's time Go 787 get a wrench. What y'all think, man? Y'all let me know. You know, we usually do a vote, Ghost, for the people that don't know. But Go 787 have been around. That's good people right there, man. So y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. I'm gonna actually bring that up on the live later on, though. See what the people say. I don't see why not. You know what I mean? I hope everybody's doing well, man. What's going on? What's going on? Talk to me. How we feeling? Go get the money. He said, yeah, give him one. For sure, for sure. That's almost definite. You feel me? Y'all seen Abdullah Mason and Chris Eubank at the gym together? I think Chris Eubank is going about things smart. He still looks like he's in fighting shape. He told Abdullah Mason while they was having a conversation, he's about 175 pounds right now, which is not too far away from fight weight if he would have rematched Conor Benn. So it's lit. It's lit, cuz. You know what I mean? Chris Eubank living the fighter lifestyle. I love to see it. And Abdullah Mason just rumbled not too long ago, and he back in the gym, man. This is what really separates, you know, the regular good fighters from the abnormal gifted fighters. You feel me? When you got that talent and you got that work ethic to match it, and you not satisfied, come on, man. They're like your potential is damn near infinite at that point. Blunt Sports, what up? Blunt Sports. He said, hell of a video earlier, boy. That's how you shoot, man. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, man. It's just a topic that's really been getting under my skin. I ain't gonna lie to you. And not many things really get under my skin. You know what I mean? I just let it go by. You know what I mean? I ignore it or I talk about it and then I move on. But this whole bullshit that's going on right now, man. It's like fans, like you can't even call these motherfuckers fans at this point, bro. It's like, how could you say that you a fan of boxing when you don't even want to embrace one of the biggest things that come with the sport of boxing, you feel what I mean? Which is the sweet science. Y'all guys are like, if anything, y'all really anti-boxing, bro. There's no way you can sit here and say that you're a boxing fan, but don't want motherfuckers to box in the ring. Y'all want to see all this rock'em sock'em shit. You don't want nobody to, utilize any type of movement or any type of, footwork or anything like that. It's like y'all motherfuckers just want to you know what I mean? Just have motherfuckers sit in front of you and punch your brains out. And then when these motherfuckers in a nursing home and they can't talk, they can't function on their own, their motor skills all fucked up, then they just be like, oh, he was a warrior, and then go on to talk about the next fighter. Don't put no money in their pocket, none of that shit. But we're going to talk about that. Shout out to Teacher Selvin in the building. I'm glad you came on here, brother, because I wanted to address a comment that you had posted on my video that I put up earlier today. And you make a valid point, brother, and I appreciate you providing your opinion and not necessarily being a contrarian, but, just providing a different perspective. And I wanted to, expand upon that, not necessarily to change your point of view on things, but to just add where I'm coming from in this situation. And he brings up a valid point. Shout out to everybody else that was in the comment section, but I'm going to bring up Teacher Selvin. You know what I mean? He was on the channel before. That's a good brother over there. Shout out to Smoochie. Shout out to Lorenzo showing love from Tokyo. What up, brother? Now, this is Teacher Selvin's comment. And he went on to say, I respectfully disagree. Now, this is the video, you know what I mean, what he's disagreeing to. If y'all saw the video earlier, I was pretty much saying how Turki Al-Sheikh, like, I don't really agree with how the way he's moving. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's no way you could tell somebody how to fight. Like, you can't take away one of the most prolific styles in the sport of boxing, you know what I mean? Because you're trying to feed into these ignorant, you know, so-called boxing fans narrative. I feel like Turki Al-Sheikh is feeling the, you know, he's hearing the criticism. This is the reality with Turki, y'all. And I didn't even address this in the live, right? So he's doing these events, right? He did that event at Times Square with Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez, Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barbosa, and Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero, right? And he built it up as like this big fight. You feel what I mean? A real big fight. And it got a lot of attention considering with the location that it was at. And you can tell they put a lot of money into the show. And, you know, damn near every fight on that card was kind of underwhelming. You know what I mean? A lot of people wasn't really feeling the performances. A lot of people was blaming the setting. You know, it was a whole lot of things that was going on that I thought, you know what I mean, could have been went about better in all honesty. But Turki Al-Sheikh heard the criticism from the fans. You know, and he, you know, I think he takes a lot of pride in putting on these big, exciting events. You feel what I mean? I think he takes pride in making these big events happen. You know what I mean? He like when motherfuckers stroke his ego and tell him that he the best. He's the savior of boxing. So he puts a certain, you know, he holds himself to a high regard in terms of I make the biggest, best fights happen. So when he gets a show that actually doesn't go how he anticipates, he hears the fans, you know what I mean? And he, you know, he's a little bit sensitive about his work like many artists are. So I understand that. However, what Turki Al-Sheikh has to understand, in my opinion, is that you can't tell nobody how to fight they fight. You feel what I mean? How do you sound? And I understand he's putting up the money. I understand he's an investor. I understand that he has his right to put his money into whatever style he prefers to have in the ring. You know, when you got that type of money, you determine who's, you know, fighting on the card, right? However, you can't take a fighter like Shakur Stevenson, who are gifted with good reflexes, defense, and lateral movement, and tell them that they can't use that. That you gotta leave all your heart in the ring. You gotta leave all your pride. You gotta leave your soul in the ring. That not many fighters, you know, take that approach. There's fighters like Antonio Margarito who will leave it all in the ring. Julio Cesar Chavez, you know, Tito Trinidad always left it all in the ring. Like, you know, there's fighters who give it they all. Marcos Maidana, you know, like we see these guys, but not everybody has that same philosophy. You feel what I'm saying? Not everybody has that same philosophy. There's some people that, like Andre Ward said, want to come out as with the least amount of punishment possible and make it home healthy to their families. People don't want people. Some boxers don't want to come home with a black eye. Some people don't want to wake up with severe migraines. Some fighters don't want to have cuts that they got to get stitched up. You know, there's fighters that prioritize different things. So Turki Al-Sheikh prefers to have guys on the card that, you know, want to give it they all to show courage and heart, and that's cool. You know what I mean? And I think under certain circumstances, you may have to show it because that might be the determining factor on whether you win a fight or not. However, there's some fighters that are able to get the job done without having to do all of that. You feel what I'm saying? So when I hear these people say that they're boxer fans, yet they don't even want to embrace, you know, the variety of styles that are in boxing, it makes me question what your intentions are really. You feel what I mean? I feel like a lot of these dudes that call themselves boxing fans are more fans of a particular style or a particular individual, to be honest with you. So I said all of that because that was pretty much what I was suggesting in the video. I made a few different points that I don't remember at this point in time. But let's address Teacher Selvin's comment. He says, I respectfully disagree. If you put your money out, pay someone 3 times their worth, which what Turki Al-Sheikh has been doing, and get what you did not expect, Zuma, you would be highly upset. If they want to hit and not get hit, he has the right to say that's not what he wants to promote. The fighters aren't complaining that they're getting 3 times the amount to fight, so the promoter should be able to complain when he gets less than what he expected. It's like these old girls out here talking about I have value. One new milk. when new milk should always sell for more and more. Same difference. These old bras out here are delusional. So wanting to watch cat and mouse and me paying you triple, that's delusional. Let's keep it 100. Roy Jones is the black boxing style. Sugar Ray Leonard is the black boxing style. Please don't do that. Mike Tyson is the black style people. Well, I'm going to address that last point right there because I like where you're coming from and I understand where you're coming from. Just to be clear, I'm not saying that the style of using lateral movement, foot speed, hand speed, and hitting and not getting hit. I'm not marginalizing black fighters to that particular style. I think that's a mistake. And if I came across that way, then that's not what my intentions was. What I'm saying is that style is black boxing. Black American boxers, that is the style that they had came up with. You feel what I'm saying? But they're not marginalized to just that style. I could show you 3 different black fighters and they all fight different. I could give you Deontay Wilder, Shakur Stevenson, right? Let's go. No, I'll give you 2 different ones and they black fighters. Shakur Stevenson and James Kirkland. They both black fighters, but they got totally different approaches. They got 2 totally different philosophies on the sport of boxing. You feel what I'm saying? Their mentalities are different. One of them cautious, you know what I mean? Doesn't take unnecessary risk. Then the other one really don't give a fuck. And he's on that type of time where it's either going to be me or you. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, we can add Tank in the mix for, because he's a popular fighter. Tevin, Shakur, fucking Deontay Wilder. 3 black fighters. All fight completely different. You feel what I'm saying? So, he does bring up a great point. Roy Jones is the black boxing style, yes. Sugar Ray Leonard is the black boxing style, yes. Mike Tyson is the black boxing style, yes. But you notice that all 3 of them fighters fight totally different. They fight totally different. But let's really break down what Teacher Selvin is saying. You telling me because you what you're bringing up is Turkey Al-Sheikh is disappointed because he's paying these guys way more than what they're worth, and he's not getting the results that he expects. So because of that, he has the right to complain. Listen, there's nothing wrong with the man complaining. There's nothing wrong with the man complaining. However, if Turkey Al-Sheikh is this big boxing fan that he claims to be, right? Like he's this big boxing fan. He's been watching boxing before he invested into the sport. He's always made it clear that he was a boxing fan, a huge boxing fan. So with Turkey Al-Sheikh being a boxing fan and knowing how the sport is and knowing that there's different styles that are brought to the table and knowing what Devin Haney brings to the table, knowing what guys like Shakur Stevenson bring to the table, you can't put this guy in a car knowing what his abilities are and what he's capable of doing. And when he brings out something that he's brought out in fights previously, which is, using movement, using boxing ability, not really taking unnecessary chances, you can't really be mad at him for that. You can't really be mad at him for that. For example, if I'm promoting, let's say I'm the new promoter of the UFC, right? Let's say I'm the new promoter of the UFC. And I got all these big names on this card. I got Khabib. Let's say I got Khabib versus Khabib versus fucking Justin Gaethje, because that was Khabib last fight, right? No, Selvin. Listen, you saying, however, I'm paying you 3 times more. Do better. Listen, and we gonna go back to this. Let me make this point real quick. Wait, what? Who said Rigo trash? You out your fucking mind, Marky Dan. What are you talking about? Who said Rigo trash? Man, Prime Guillermo Rigondeaux is the fucking man. Anyways, let's say I got Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Justin Gaethje. Let's say I got Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier. Let's say I'm just stacking this card up, right? And I'm paying these guys money that they've never seen before in an octagon, right? And Khabib, he don't mind rumbling. But you know what type time he on when if he really got to, Khabib would really take you down, pause, and keep you on that motherfucking mat for the duration of a round, of a 5-minute round. I can't sit here and be like, damn, this nigga Khabib really just took the nigga down and just kept him on the mat for the whole 5 minutes of every 5 rounds. You know, it wasn't exciting. No punches were thrown. You can't. If I'm this big UFC fan that I claim to be, and I know what these guys are capable of doing, I gotta understand that there might be a scenario where, you know, a performance may come out that way. Let's say Gaethje hurts Khabib with a punch. Khabib not gonna sit there and just get flatlined by Gaethje. So what he gonna do? He gonna do what he do. He's a fucking wrestler. He's gonna take Gaethje down and not put Gaethje in a position where he's able to hurt him again. Devin Haney just took all this punishment in this Ryan Garcia fight. You feel what I'm saying? He wanted to secure that rematch with Ryan Garcia. So what did he do? He gave this nigga a boxing lesson. He decided to hit and not get hit. And he did it successfully. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't subscribe to this notion that Devin Haney ran from Jose Ramirez. He outclassed Jose Ramirez. You can't run from a nigga that you're out punching. How can you say a nigga ran from you if the nigga outlanded you? Now, if you chasing a nigga around the ring and he not throwing punches at all and you outlanded him, you outthrow him, all right, well, the nigga a sucker. It is what it is. You feel me? Like that's the thing. You can't say somebody ran from you if they outlanded you. That means he punching you too, so he boxing and moving. But because it wasn't a style, because it's a style that you don't find to be entertaining, all of a sudden you want to get rid of it. So this boxing shit not about skill no more. It's about it exciting you. Like if y'all motherfuckers is genuine boxing fans, how y'all claim to be, then it should be something that you love from a skill set standpoint. You should be appreciative of the art. You feel what I mean? If it's just entertainment value for you, if it's all just entertainment for you and you just want to see exciting shit all the time, it makes me question whether you really a genuine boxing fan or enthusiast how you claim to be, bro. Listen, you're not paying attention, brother. I said there's a scenario where that might be possible considering the style that Khabib has. I never said Khabib wasn't exciting, but knowing that Khabib is a wrestler and what he's capable of doing, which is wrestling at an elite level, if there's a situation where he has no other choice but to take the nigga down and keep him down on the mat for the duration of the round in order to win the fight, he's gonna do that. And I can't be mad at that because that's the abilities that man has. Marky Dan, I don't know if you really invested in boxing how you claim to be, just talking like that, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like I don't really understand that mindset. You know what I mean? Like if you find boxing to be boring, then you're probably not the boxing fan that you claim to be. There might be certain things that you like about boxing, but I don't think you like boxing in its totality. I don't mind seeing an outboxer. I watch Guillermo Rigondeaux. I take notes. And it's probably because I'm a boxing coach. It's probably because I'm a boxing coach. I see shit from a different lens than y'all. And that's understandable. It is what it is. All I know is if I'm a boxing coach and I have a fighter that has the abilities of a Guillermo Rigondeaux or a Devin Haney, I would be very proud. Marlon 2631, he says boxing is like chess. This is not street fighting. Yeah, especially at a high level. And look, like I said in the video I put out earlier, if you have your preferences, that's totally fine. I have my preferences. You feel me? Like I said, my thing, I love boxer punchers. And I gave y'all some examples. Tito Trinidad, you know what I mean? Miguel Cotto. Even though I wasn't a big Miguel Cotto fan, I love this style. You know, young Canelo Alvarez. Prime Nicholas Walters. You know, Guillermo Rigondeaux was a boxer puncher in his prime. He was knocking shit loose. You feel what I'm saying? I like Naoya Inoue. You know what I'm saying? I like Junto Nakatani. I like motherfuckers who are punchers, like devastating punchers, but they got the brains behind it. You know what I'm saying? Mikey Garcia, when he was at 126, 130, 135, he was a boxer puncher. Those are my favorite types of fighters. But the difference between me and a lot of these other motherfuckers, I could respect the outboxer. I could respect the brawler. I could respect the counter puncher. You feel what I'm saying? Because I understand that whichever route you decide to take in terms of what style you're gonna, identify yourself with, it's difficult to perform that style at an elite level. To being an elite level brawler, that's not easy. That comes with punishment and wear and tear. Like Ruslan Provodnikov, you know what I'm saying? He retired. I thought he retired really young, but considering the fact that, he done been through so many wars and all he knew was go, he not gonna last long. You know what I'm saying? I've grown. I respect counter punchers. Juan Manuel Marquez is probably my favorite counter puncher in boxing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and Turkey Al-Sheikh, yeah, man, maybe, maybe he just a boxing fan in terms of, maybe he just like to be entertained by it. Maybe he don't really appreciate the signs like everybody else do, or like how I do. And that's cool. But you can't bring fighters who are, outboxers like Devin Haney, then get mad when they outbox a motherfucker. I don't really understand that. If you just want to see entertaining fights, then just put all brawlers on your card, or just put, volume punchers on your card. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just put a bunch of Eastside Cruises on your card. You feel me? Like that, go do that. You feel me? Outboxer is not going to give you the most exciting performance all the time. It is what it is. Sometimes they might be able to, sometimes they not. We've seen Erislandy Lara in fights that weren't that exciting. Then we've seen them in exciting fights. But you know why Erislandy Lara ended up being in some exciting fights? Because the motherfucker that he fought forced him to make it an entertaining fight. You peep that? I see Erislandy Lara have a fucking, I remember he fought, what was it, Terrell Goucher? I think he outclassed Terrell Goucher. And that shit was boring. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, Erislandy just smoked that nigga. You feel me? Let me see it. Was it Goucher? Yeah, it was Terrell Goucher. I think he dropped him early on in the fight. You know what I'm saying? And it was ass because he completely shut him out. However, when he fought Alfred Angulo made that nigga fight. He made him fight. That's what made it an exciting fight. He fought a prime Jared Hurd. Jared Hurd made Erislandy Lara fight. You understand what I'm saying? So, and then what's the dude that fuck, man. He been so inactive. I forgot his damn name. Castaño. I remember when Castaño was putting that heat on motherfucking on Erislandy Lara. It made him fight a fight that, you know what I'm saying? You got to push them to their limits. You feel what I'm saying? So, Turkey, if you want to see these guys that are considered outboxers to be in real dog fights or had them switch their whole game up, you have to give them the style necessary that's going to bring that up out of them. If you want to give them exciting fights, you know what I'm saying? You got to put them in there with guys that are capable of neutralizing their boxing ability and have them pull out some different tools up out of their toolbox. That's just what it is. Don't just completely try to eliminate the style from your cards because, you know what I'm saying, the fighters that you choose and have had them up against can't figure them out. That's the competitor's fault. That's the competitor's fault. Like, we need to stop shitting on the guys who have the winning formula and shit on the guys that's losing, the ones that's coming up short, the ones that cannot figure out a solution. They're the ones that need to be criticized. It's really that simple. Marky Dan, I understand your frustrations. William Skull and Canelo Alvarez was a shitty fight. But let's keep it honest. Let's keep it real. Canelo Alvarez could have done better. He could have done better. And he had little moments. He was landing some good body shots on William Skull. But he wasn't doing what was necessary to make William Skull fight him. He could have easily, a younger Canelo Alvarez would have been able to cut that ring off on William Skull and really get to him. He could have. You know what I'm saying? He was following William Skull around the whole time. He wasn't trying to beat William Skull to the direction he was going to and cut him off and throw combinations. Like, Canelo did a lot of things in that fight that he's basically the biggest reason why the fight went that way. He did not make the adjustments necessary to make William Skull fight him. Hold on real quick, y'all. My fault, y'all. My fault. My young boy wanted something to drink real quick. So I had to take care of him, you know what I'm saying? But this is the yeah, so like I was saying, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the way that the reason why the fight went the way that it went was because of Canelo Alvarez's inability to make William Skull fight his fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we seen William Skull in previous bouts. We seen him against Vladimir Shishkin. We knew that he was on that type of time. Canelo Alvarez, I'm sure he went and he watched, a fight or two from William Skull and knew what type of time he was on. Why didn't he do what was necessary to, put a beating on William Skull to make him fight your fight? Because as soon as he fights your fight, it's a matter of time before you clip him. You know what I mean? If you know he's scared of you, if he don't want to engage with you, you know what you're supposed to do? Make him engage with you. And there's certain things that you need to do in that boxing ring where he will have, and if you go about it right, if you do what you need to do in that boxing ring, he will have no choice but to engage with you. It's not like the nigga going to jump out the ring on some Royal Rumble shit and get eliminated. No, he's going to stay inside the boxing ring. Mazuma clone number 1 is hungry. Get on that. Now, that's actually my girl's son. You feel me? My son, he not with me today. But since we talking about that, I'm not going to really get emotional on here, but one time I got emotional on here was because of my son. My son just bring that up out of me. My son's birthday is tomorrow, y'all. I'm going to have me a 2-year-old. Unfortunately, I will not be with him. I tried everything I could to be with him, but, because of the situation that I got going on with his mother, unfortunately, she's not really too, fond of me, I guess. So I'm not going to be able to see my son. I will not be able to see my son, unfortunately, because, by the custody agreement we have, technically it's her day. You know what I'm saying? So it do hurt that I'm not going to be able to see my son on like his actual birth date. I did everything I could in my power to, try to make it happen. But, it takes two to make a thing go right. It makes two to make. No, I'm fucking with you. But it takes two to, have effective co-parenting. And unfortunately, I did have him this morning. You know what I mean? I gave him a hug and a kiss. I told him happy early birthday and stuff like that. So, what can I do, man? I did everything that I could, but, not everything perfect. And, yeah, man. But fortunately, I'll have him the day after his birthday, and then we'll have a big birthday party for him. A bunch of pizza and cake and games. I know he's gonna have a good time, but for his first birthday, I was actually there. You know what I mean? I was there. I sung him happy birthday. I got him a cake and all that. And I know he won't remember it, but I know that, bro. I know that, like in the back of my head, I know that I'm gonna always remember not being there for his second birthday. But at the same time, I can't really hold my head um, too low. I can't hope like I'm not gonna have my head down or be ashamed because I did what I could. You know what I mean? And I done sent out text messages. I did everything I could. Not to get too personal on here, but you know, I did everything in my power to try to be present for that moment. But you know, it is what it is, man. I can't really do anything. So I'm just glad that I was able to have him. This morning before I went to work, and yeah, man. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I know tomorrow gonna be a shitty day for me. Like I'm gonna be happy that's my son's birthday, but considering I won't be there to celebrate it, it sucked. But what can I do, right? That's what happens. But anyways, we didn't even get into the main topics that was on this live. Let's keep this shit on a positive note, man. I mean, I ain't about to be shedding no tears on here, man. So I appreciate everybody that's saying happy birthday to him and all that good stuff. All my niggas take care of their kids. That's a fact. And if your nigga ain't taking care of your kids, you gotta cut him loose. You know what I mean? I had niggas that I cut off once I found out they was deadbeats, bro. I take fatherhood that serious, man. I don't give a fuck how cool we was. I don't care how like I've known niggas since we was babies and shit, like in kindergarten together, sharing, like goldfish crackers and shit, nigga. Uh, no way, no way. Like, uh, there's no way I could be cool with you knowing that you a deadbeat, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't fuck with that. And I ain't gonna lie, like I kind of feel like a shitty parent for not being able to be there for his birthday, but it's not me. You feel me? It's not me. Like I would drop everything going on in this world to sing happy birthday to him, but what can I do, man? Hopefully somebody watching, cause I know people be watching me that know the bitch. You feel me? So um I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it definitely ain't my fault. That's why I ain't tripping, but it do fuck with my mind though. I ain't gonna lie to you. So his second birthday, I won't be there. But like I said, I'll have him this weekend, so I guess we'll make up. Uh, I guess we'll make it up on the 14th, but his birthday is the 12th. Yeah, that's what everybody else is telling me too, agent. I mean, there's more birthdays to come and shit like that. And that's true, but still hurt. But let's get into these conversations, y'all. We're gonna try and fuck the energy up, but not like that. A real birthday on Saturday. Facts. Facts. Um. So yeah, man. Anyways, so yeah, we was talking on that Turkey Al Sheik situation, man. I completely forgot about this whole shit. Tremel Brown, it says, well, I don't really follow birthdays, but I'll tell you, brother, it is best for you to get him Friday. You'll be able to turn up better. I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact, bro. But like June 12th is a really special day for me because that was the day where I officially became a father, and it was one of the most, no, not one of the most, it was the most beautiful experience of my life. You know what I mean? To, you know, see my son get brought into this world. So I feel like, in all honesty, if anybody deserves to be there during his birthday, it's the mother and the father. But apparently, the mother feels like it's best that she's only there. You feel me? So, it's out of my control. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So to go back to address, I already spoke. That was like my counter argument for Teacher Selvins. Hopefully he understood that. You feel what I mean? Kai Fly, yeah, it is. My son is financially set already, brother. Like, my son, by the time he's 18, he'll be in a very, very prestigious situation. With the moves that I was able to make, he will be. I'm not gonna say the number, but I think he'll be the first. Uh, I think he'll be the first one to, really do some big shit in the family. I know I'm gonna do big shit, but I'm saying like I think he's gonna be the first one to like really be brought into like financial freedom. You know what I mean? Tramel Brown says, my son's 3 years old. I was not able to be there for his third birthday, but I told myself at least he's young so I could catch 1 million, start a business or something. That's sad, brother. I'm sorry that you went through that. I don't know your details of your situation, but uh, that's heartbreaking, bro. Like, people only ever talk about how the mother feels or what the mother goes through, bro. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's really crazy. And I don't want to say too much, you feel what I mean? But at the same time, y'all like family, you feel what I mean? Shit, we've been chopping it up on here for 2 to 3 years. Y'all watching me grow as a man. Uh, we growing together for real. So, bro, I don't want to get myself. She probably watching. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. She's admitted to watching before, so I wouldn't doubt it. But what can I say, bro? Like, it's sad. It's sad, but like I said, it's out of my control, and I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I said, everybody always talk about what the women go through, and how women got it so bad, bro. I've been with my son since. I never left my son's side, bro. Like if you used to go through my camera roll, bro, like his whole life has been documented on my camera roll alone. Like when he first I got video when he was first brought into the world. I got videos of me cutting his umbilical cord, me taking him out of the hospital, bringing him into my house for the first time. Simba embracing my son for the first time, waking up every 2 hours to feed him and put him back to sleep. Like I went through all of that, bro. I'm maintaining my fatherhood while going in and out of courts. Like I'm in court for this. I'm getting restraining orders put on me when I never touched nobody in my fucking life, never put hands on nobody, but because I fucking took this bitch to court for custody, she went and got a PFA on me, and they served me on my birthday, bro. They served me and got me evicted out of my crib on my birthday, and I was evicted from my own crib. If it wasn't for my family, bro, I'd have been homeless, bro. And she did that because I took her to court for custody of my son because she was hiding my son from me. She was hiding my son from me, bro. Fuck. I'm gonna turn this camera off, y'all. Hey, turn this shit off. Yep. And all that shit was going on while I was on YouTube just talking boxing with y'all. Ain't that shit crazy? And I never said nothing. Shit crazy, right? This girl used to try to hurt me, bro. Like, put knives to me, throw shit at me, cut me open, split me open and shit. Then I'll go live right after, like nothing happened, bro. And then go tell them fucking white people that I put hands on her when I never did. And they served me paperwork saying that I was an abuser on my birthday, bro. You feel me? Like, shit crazy. And I'm sorry we're not talking boxing. If this ain't what y'all want to talk about, then y'all could go. You feel me? But I'm sorry. My son's birthday coming up. And it come with a lot of trauma, bro. I used to be somebody who had a beautiful memory, bro. This trauma and all this bullshit I went through, bro, I can't remember shit. You know how bad this shit was, bro? You know how bad this shit was? I got a passcode it's a passcode. It's like a number pad to get into my crib, bro. I got my crib in March of 2024 because I got evicted because she went and lied on me saying I was being abuser when I never hit this girl. She used to hit me, bro. She used to hit me. She used to try to fuck me up, bro. Kick me in my face, punch me in my face, all type of shit. I never did nothing. And she would do it while the baby's in her hand, bro. She my life was so chaotic and so filled with trauma, bro, that bro, in my own crib, I couldn't remember the password to my doors, bro. Like I would sit there and like have to call. I had to call my girl, and I'm like, "Yo, do you know the Like I forgot the password to the crib." She like, "How you forget the password to the crib?" I'm like, "Yo, I don't know." Like that type shit, bro. And I've done everything I could to make amends. Uh, I ain't a victim, but I'm not. I ain't no fucking victim. You feel me? But I did everything I could to try to be on a positive note. Just co-parent effectively, bro. And she know the only way to get to me is through my son, and she just do it, bro. She just do it. You feel me? Oh, man. So yeah. Yeah, bro. I would forget the passwords to my door. There was times where I wake up in the morning and I don't even remember if I'm off from work that day or what. I'm coming into work on my off days, bro. Like I'm forgetting that I got like one-on-one like haircut appointments and bro, all that shit, bro. And they want to tell you that, the mothers be the ones that always be hurt. They the ones who be going through it, and they the ones who always doing shit by themselves, bro. Fuck out of here. Shout out to Tramel Browning with the $20 super chat. He says, hashtag Mazuma TV. Through all your trials, Brother Jano is meant to happen for our better. God will not give you nothing that you came here, that you came there. I think I see what you're saying. No, blessings from your family in the chat. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, man. Bro, there's so much shit, bro. Like this fucking girl, she would be like, "Oh, you want your son? Come get your son." Right? Bro, I would go to get him, and that was all just for her to bring me over there just so she could argue with me and then call the cops on me, bro. Like that's what she would do. And then I told her, because I was evicted out of that fucking crib, bro. I got kicked. I got that restraining order put on me that I had to fight that shit in court, and I had to sign like a 6 month like cool off period, bro. I had to sign a six. I had to take. They had to take my firearm and all, bro. They had to take my gun. My gun. They temporarily suspended my gun license while I'm in the most dangerous neighborhood in Philadelphia, where they known for robbing and killing people. You know what I mean? They made me take my bro. I was sleeping on my mom's couch. If y'all go look back at them videos and them lives I did back in like January, wait, what was it like December to March, bro? I was literally going live from my mom's crib. Bro, I was sleeping on her couch for 3 months because the crib that I was supposed to live in, I was evicted from. And you know what was crazy? I was paying a rent while I wasn't even living in there, bro. $1,800 a month, bro. And I remember the one time she was like, "Oh, the baby need clothes. The baby need clothes." So I go and I drop off the clothes, and she got a nigga in there, bro. She got a nigga that, come to find out, it was like her, childhood friend and shit like that. They known each other. He got a wife, and the wife, apparently was cool with my girl and all this weird shit. Bro, I was gonna send this nigga to God, bro. Like I was gonna send this nigga to God. I had my gun on me, bro. I was gonna beat the living shit out of him. The only thing that stopped me was this bitch sister. This bitch sister had my fucking son in her arms, bro. If my son wasn't in that room, I probably would have sent him the. I would have caught it, bro. I'd be fighting for my freedom right now. I swear to God, I'm not even playing. I'm dead serious. You feel me? Like this bitch would, bro, and while she was, bro, oh my God, bro. This bitch put me through hell, cuz. You know what I mean? And everything happened for a reason. Maybe that was my bad karma for how the way I came up and the shit that I used to get into. But bro, she would drink and mix like depression medication with wine and shit. And bro, she looked like she be OD'd on the food. Bro, I got videos of her being knocked, like passed out on the sofa while my son hanging out his bassinet in the room by himself. This bitch was negligent, bro. This bitch was negligent. I could have used that in court against her and really fried her and got sole custody, and I didn't, bro, because I want my son mother in her life just as much as I'm in his life. I spared that bitch out of the love for my son, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, bro, she got me. She done had me fucking living on my car, my mom's sofa. This bitch lied on me. She would hide my son from me. I would kiss my son goodbye. I got kicked right in my face, cheekbone all swollen. Like that's the shit that she did, bro. I'm over here fight. I had to fight for my son for a year straight. I fought for my son for a year straight, bro. From damn near a month. Like from like January, nah, not another year. So it was like 9 months. So from like December to September, bro. So what is that? Yeah, that's damn near 10 months, bro. In and out of court fighting for my son, bro. I was giving this bitch. I got all, bro. I sent this girl tens of thousands of dollars, bro. Tens of thousands of dollars. Tens of thousands of dollars, bro. And she took me to child support just because I refused to cancel the custody date. And what was crazy was she took me to child support and got the same exact money that I was giving her anyway. She took me to court just because. They were like, "Oh, was you giving her money before this?" Yes. I had all the transactions printed out. So, and the lady was like, "Oh, so why are we even here today?" Because she wanted to do that. You feel me? It's a lot of bullshit, bro. So when I think about my son's birthday, that's why I hold my son so close because he was my pride and joy in the midst of chaos, bro. Like he was the only thing that kept me afloat, that kept me positive, bro. And of course, y'all too. And that's why, I ain't never quitting this YouTube shit, nigga. We gonna be 60 years old on here still chopping it up. You feel me? Until, as long as God permits, you feel me? But, you know, YouTube, boxing, my son. And of course, my girl, because my girl was with me through it all. She done seen me shed every tear. She was supportive of me through every court date and, all that shit, bro. You know what I mean? So tomorrow gonna be a real sentimental day for me. Uh it's gonna be a real sentimental day for me tomorrow, but I'll be happy at the same time because my boy, he getting up there in the world. Oh man. But yeah, let me turn this camera back on. We straight. You feel me? Uh in other news, I found two white hairs on the back of my head, man. So we getting up there in age, man. I'm getting up there with like Luis Ortiz and them in terms of age, bro. I'm pushing 50. You heard? Bullies, what up? Oh man. I mean, we can't I got that shit on my system, you know what I mean? This nigga said, what's up? You tripping. I text my pop. So this the picture right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. Look at that shit, bro. Look at that white hair that my girl pulled off the back of my head. Look at that white hair. And I was like, that's interesting. And I'm 27, right? 27 years old. So I text my pop and I'm like, yo, when you start getting white hair? This nigga said 27 years old. Ain't that about a bitch? Genetics is a motherfucker. She said, no, don't pull it no more. Why? She did it, not me. You gotta talk to her about that. Miss ma'am. If you pushing four Lorenzo, how old is you, Lorenzo? I mean, I fuck with y'all, man. The fucking viewership stayed the same while I fucking had a little moment. It's crazy. Marissa, what's going on, Marissa? Yeah, my son better love me. Shit. You 34? You got 7 years on me, brother. You the same age as my sisters. But you was born in 91? No, it's definitely genetics, brother. My dad, my dad got white hair. I could show y'all my dad if y'all never see my dad. And then my grandfather who passed away in like 2023. When he passed away at the end of he passed at the end of 2023, I think. He was born in 1990. Oh, all right. Oh, all right. Hold on. Let me show y'all my pop. This is my pop right here. So you see he got like white hair, whites and grays and shit. And then let me see if he got a picture of my grandfather on here. I'm gonna have to scroll through my camera roll. But like long story short, cuz like yeah, this is my grandfather right here. Look, white hair. Rest in peace to my grandfather, man. That's his white hair. So them genetics is strong, brother. Them genetics is definitely strong. In terms of the white hair. Besides that, I look like my mother, but y'all not gonna see my mother because one of y'all motherfuckers try to flirt with my mom. It's gonna be raps. I feel like Slime will be the one to do that with his fat, ignorant ass. Yeah, rest in peace to my grandfather, man. Good, yo, funny dude, bro. Fucking hilarious. That man he was going through it, man, and one of the funniest motherfuckers you would ever meet. Those Spanish women will aid you. Oh, man. You crazy. No, I'm still here, baby. I'm still here. I still look the exact same from when I was in high school. I just grew a beard. That's all. Let me see. But what y'all think about the WBO ordering Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes, man? That's the news that done came out. I absolutely love it. And Top Rank ain't playing. I'm gonna just say that. You know, Top Rank is not playing with these niggas at all. Y'all gonna give Abdullah Mason that WBO title shot. I know that for sure. He ain't about to be playing with none of y'all. Let me actually pull that shit up. Abdullah Mason. Let's pull this up. And according to Queensberry Promotions, that's Frank Warren. He says big news for Sam Noakes. So I'm assuming Sam Noakes is with Queensberry Promotions. He says the WBO will order a shot at the vacant world title against Abdullah Mason. The picture shows Sam Noakes. The WBO is set to order Sam Noakes versus Abdullah Mason for the lightweight world title. Man, Top Rank, you could tell they love Abdullah Mason, bro. The way that they keeping this man active, you know, the way that, you know, they've been giving him opportunity after opportunity, man, they got him in a very prestigious situation. And, you know, just assessing Sam Noakes and what he brings to the table, he does pose some problems. He looks like he's a good-sized lightweight like Abdullah Mason. But he has some holes in his game. You know what I mean? He definitely got some defensive holes. Some holes defensively. He leaves a lot of openings, especially when, you know, he's in the middle of throwing punches. He doesn't bring his hands back from what I've assessed. And it seems like his bread and butter is fighting at close range. He doesn't seem to be how can I say this? Like as effective at mid or long range. It seems like he does the most damage when he's in close quarters with his opponents. But he looks like he's very heavy-handed. And he looks like he ain't got a problem hurting a motherfucker. So he definitely gonna pose some problems for Abdullah Mason, of course. But there's some questions about Sam Noakes that we don't know. How is he gonna be able to take a punch? You know what I'm saying? How is he gonna be able to deal with the length, speed, you know, and timing of Abdullah Mason? Because Abdullah Mason is the full package, y'all. I was talking to YSM Sports Media Jamil Parker. He was telling me that he looks at Abdullah Mason the same way that he looks at Jaron Ennis. And I know they're not on the same level as of right now because, you know, Boots is a unified world champion. You know, Abdullah Mason is an up-and-coming contender in the lightweight division. However, I see what he's saying in terms of abilities. They do have a lot of similarities. They're well-rounded fighters that could do just about anything. You know what I'm saying? I never seen like Abdullah Mason switch or anything like that in terms of, you know, transitioning from southpaw to orthodox. But, you know, they got the hand speed, they got the power, they explosive, they rangy. You know what I mean? They had a good size for their weight, and they just very promising with a shit ton of potential. So I understand what he was talking about. So congratulations to Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes for, you know, putting themselves in position through their hard work to get that vacant WBO title shot. And may the best man win. Now, it's going to be very interesting to see, you know, if it's a purse bid, who's going to win the purse bid and the exact location, man, because, you know, something just tells me, I don't know why, but something just tells me that Abdullah Mason might have to go over to the UK to come grab or attempt to grab this world title. And, you know, we've seen it happen before. We know we had to see Earl Spence go overseas to get his first world title against, you know, Kell Brook. We had to see Terrence Crawford go overseas to get that world title off of Ricky Burns. The list goes on and on and on. You feel what I mean? I believe didn't Tevin Farmer had to go to Australia to get that IBF title off of Billy Dibb? Like, that's just what we have to do, you know, that's what they have to do, not we. That's what they have to do as fighters at times. You feel what I'm saying? This nigga Go 787 says I got 70-40 Mason. That's 110%, brother. So you meant to say 70-30? Is that what you meant to say? I think your numbers is a bit off, brother. He said, yo, off topic, why Greg Hack is sleeping on live right now? Ain't no fucking way. You lying. This nigga sleeping on live? He knocked the fuck out.
They were saying they're top ranked, so. So, all right, I got another one for y'all.
This nigga Greg rock.
I kind of Bob Arum's interviews, his answers in his interview.
Get up!
A few more fights for Abdullah, right? Before he puts him in the title fight. Probably about 1 or 2 more fights. But do you think they
get up?
He's taking the next. I mean, they can't do anything else at this point.
That's that hard work. I feel you, Greg. I feel you, Greg.
Saturday, but since WWE was vacant, they gotta have to go have them fight for it now. So they don't have any choice.
Yo, that's fucking hilarious. Get that nigga. Get that nigga. You know what I mean, to bed, because it's over. I get it though, bro. Niggas don't be understanding how taxing and training people is. You know what I mean? That's very cause that requires a lot of energy. You feel me? So when niggas come back from the gym, my girl talking about what's that noise? Why are you worried about it? He said, Greg don't care, bro. He really in the hood. Yo, that's hilarious. That's how you know your age catching up to you, bro. You just fall asleep anywhere, bro. I'm not there yet.
He should probably only had 2 6s, 3 6s.
That's hilarious that they keep talking boxing about this nigga sleep, bro. It's like, man, we don't give a fuck if he sleep. We don't give a fuck if this channel. Boxing don't stop, nigga. Yo. Wait, boxing expert said, I was watching Greg one night, then he fell asleep. I woke up next morning, he's still alive. Wait, what you mean? He was still alive and he was asleep? He was asleep still? Yo, that's hilarious. But YSF carrying the live, that's his man. He better do that. That's his man's. Anonymous said, but back to the topic, I just wish they gave him some step-up fights before, but fucking Top Rank always going for the WBO belt. Yeah, man, but this is the thing. Because Top Rank and the WBO got a good, relationship, they I don't know, they really locked in over there. I don't know exactly what their relationship is, but, regardless, or how their relationship started, but regardless, let's say Abdullah Mason fights Sam Noakes and he's able to get that world title, right? They're going to make sure that even though he's world champion, they still giving him the right fights to continue to grow and develop. You know what I mean? They're not going to just cash him out in a unification fight right away. They'll only do that if they feel like he's ready for the opportunity or if the style that's in front of him is something that, he could overcome. You know what I'm saying? So Abdullah Mason, most likely he will defeat Sam Noakes. I think he's a little bit too sharp for Sam Noakes, and I think that his physical attributes is going to prevail in that situation. However, if he gets that world title, they're still going to be carefully moving him while he's, holding that world title. They're just not going to throw him to the dog. You champion, here you go. They're going to They're going to do what they did with Anthony Joshua in terms of, when he won that world title, they didn't throw him in there with a Wilder. You know what I mean? When he was, at his peak, when he was the most dangerous, they gave him fights. They was real calculated with who they gave him fights against. You feel what I mean? And AJ fought some good people during his title run, but what I'm saying is, they didn't get too crazy with the matchmaking. You feel me? They ain't put him in a situation where they felt like he couldn't handle himself. And if they did, it was really a miscalculation, like Andy Ruiz. Tramel Brown in the building. He said, what do you think about Tank talking that mess to Haney, talking about Mayweather is not going to be able to help him? I don't listen. Bro, at this point, I don't even pay Tank any mind, cuz I really don't. Like, Tank go on social media, he pop all this big shit. He talk crazy to everybody. Then he gives us fights that we don't want to fucking see, and then he disappears. Then he just rinses and repeats. You feel what I mean? Bro, at this point, if Tank ain't fighting nobody, I want to see him fight. He just like shut the fuck up. Like I don't even really care to hear what he talking about. You feel me? Like he over here calling. I seen him call Bill Haney a cokehead. Then Bill Haney was like, "Nigga, you a crack baby. What is you talking about?" And it was like a lot of back and forths that they ain't even really need to be said. You feel me? Like at this point, Devin Haney's a fucking welterweight. Tank gonna continue to claim that he a lightweight. You know what I mean? Even though he gonna do a whole exhibition with a fucking cruiserweight / heavyweight. It is what it is. Tank not on that type of time. And when it's all said and done, like I said, Tank is gonna be one of the biggest what ifs in boxing history. It is what it is. And he don't got nobody to blame but himself. He's had ample opportunities. He's had a plethora of opportunities to go on and face elite level guys at 130, 135, 140. But for some reason, those fights were never able to manifest. And these Tank fans want us to believe that it's because of the opponent, not because of Tank. I remember Floyd was trying to punish Gervonta Davis with a Vasyl Lomachenko fight when they had a falling out. But nobody don't really want to talk about that. Nobody wants to really talk about that. He wanted to fight Vasyl Lomachenko at a point where Vasyl Lomachenko was done with boxing. He didn't want to fight him when he was at his peak at 130. Like they wanted to smoke so bad that Tank wouldn't even acknowledge him or look his way. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude, he puts on this persona like he this big dog, but shit just a popularity contest with him. He don't really want to go through that to show niggas that he the best. He not legacy driven. He told y'all, he don't never want to. He like his biggest fear is losing because he'd just be embarrassed, and he doesn't want to be embarrassed. Like he's pussy, bro. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Smoochie said, Tank is scared of success just as bad as he's scared of failure. Absolutely. Yeah, of course he wanted to fight Vasyl Lomachenko at the end of his career because he knew Vasyl was slipping. You feel me? So he froze Lomachenko out till he seen some flaws or see some signs of age and then wanted to take advantage of it. He's at his peak, Loma's on a decline. Let's jump on him. It didn't work because Vasyl Lomachenko ain't the type of motherfucker that's going to, just take some money because you offering it. He was already out the door. It is what it is. Them European dudes, their morals set up a little different. Tank wanted to fight wait, hold on. Tank wanted to fight Jake Paul. Nothing to talk about anymore. Exactly. He's showing exactly who he is. But these goofies want to tell you that, it ain't Tank's fault that he ain't fighting elite level dudes. But let's address anonymous comment real quick. He says, I just don't want them to mismanage Mason's career. Abdullah's my favorite lightweight right now. Also, as a potential boxing star that doesn't act like a damn fool, we need that in boxing. Absolutely, yeah. We seen motherfuckers act the fool. This week, the weekend that just passed, made absolute fools of themselves, and then have yet to apologize to the people for their actions. You feel what I mean? So yeah, Abdullah Mason, he's a stand-up dude. He's a hell of a fighter. He got a great support system behind him. He doesn't pretend to be anybody that he isn't. He let his hands do the talking. He's a man of very little words, but he's a man of a multitude of actions, I guess you would say. That kid definitely has the skills to become a star. You know what I mean? His ceiling is very high in boxing. His ceiling is very high in boxing, bro. Like I can only imagine how much the type of monster he would be when he gets to like my age, 26, 27, 28, around there. Sheesh. That shit is going to be on a different fucking level, bro. You know what I mean? But, Top Rank, based off of their track record and how the way they've managed fighters, they've had a pretty high success rate, man, when we look back on certain careers that was managed by them. Like, of course, Floyd Mayweather, they did a great job with Floyd Mayweather's career until he bought himself out of his contract. They did a phenomenal job with Oscar De La Hoya. They done a phenomenal job with Miguel Cotto's career. Um, you know, even when they did that co-promotion with Tyson Fury, they put him in some good fights that garnered a lot of attention from the boxing world. They did a great job with Manny Pacquiao. It did like they manage careers very well, and I think their matchmakers are fucking experts on knowing, where a fighter is in their career, what they can handle and what they can't handle. And considering the fact that Abdullah Mason just seems to be like very cooperative, you know what I mean? It seems to be like a very cooperative and like a standout fighter in their stable who, is very easy to work with. I think they'll take really good care of him. I don't see why they would put him in a situation that could fuck his career up or fuck his stock up or anything like that. It seemed like they got a really good business relationship going on over there. It seemed like he just want to fight. Tyrek is giving him the fights, and he's building a name for himself. So Tramel Brown in the building. He says, what's so sad is even though we have money circulating through boxing, fighters are still ducking. Doesn't make sense to me. I come from a different era. I definitely understand where you're coming from, brother. But I think that Turkey Al-Sheikh definitely showed us, because I think Turkey Al-Sheikh came in the game and was like, oh, this has potential to be a huge sport. We can make all the big fights happen. They just need a little bit of money. So he's pumping money into the sport of boxing, giving these guys, like Teacher Selvage said, 3 times bigger paydays than they ever received in their career. And, even though he's pumping all this money into the sport, he's still not getting these fights. He's still not able to get relationships with certain fighters. Now he's coming to realize that, it's a bigger problem than just money. You feel what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, you could point the finger at many different things or people, but man, I gotta blame Floyd for this, bro. I'm sorry. Like Floyd Mayweather done poisoned this new generation of fighters, making them feel like belts aren't important and you can't eat off a legacy. That's one of the dumbest things that I ever heard in my life. Muhammad Ali's kids are still eating and are still able to put themselves in money positions because of their father's legacy. Like, do you know that there's like old school fighters that still getting endorsement deals, like Evander Holyfield and George Foreman before he passed away? They still signing deals, and because of their name and their legacy, they still, while they retired and very old, still able to collect checks and get paid for participate in certain events. And that's one of the most bullshit situations ever. You know what I mean? That's one of the most bullshit things that Floyd has ever said. Oh, all these belts collect dust. Little do you know, those belts put you – but what Floyd don't tell you is that them belts give you more power at the negotiation table when you're trying to make some when you're attempting to create some type of generational wealth for you and your family. They don't talk about that, And he says that, it's all about the money, and you don't need to go undisputed, bro. Floyd telling y'all all this bullshit because he don't want y'all to accomplish something he's never accomplished before. You know what I mean? Like, he don't want you to surpass him. He don't want you to outdo him in the boxing field at all. He wants you to fall in line, follow his instructions that he didn't even follow in his career, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? He making it seem like legacy don't matter and it's all about the money. But whenever you ask Floyd, whenever you talk to Floyd, he telling you how great he is and how many world champions he done beat. So if it's not about legacy, why you keep bringing up how many world champions you beat? Why you flaunting that? Because he knows that legacy is something that you should prioritize in boxing. And as long as you are, being a legacy-driven fighter, the money's going to come. That's what Floyd don't want to tell you, though. So now we got little goofy ass niggas like Keyshawn Davis coming around talking about he not gonna do a unification fight. When he didn't plan on staying in the division anyway, he said he not doing no unification fights because he don't want to pay for a belt. But if the belt free, he'll fight for it. That goofy ass shit. That's a result of being around Floyd Money Mayweather, bro. You know, these fighters talking about, I don't really care about, my legacy. I feel like I'm a legend. As long as I'm a legend in my city, that's the biggest sucker shit in the world. Like Floyd, I could pull up pictures right now. Floyd talking about belts collect dust. Floyd got plenty of pictures online, him posing with his belts. If they collect dust and they essentially insignificant to you, then why you showing them off any chance you get? I remember Floyd had a whole picture. He had a picture of a pool table where every single belt he earned in his career laid out on the pool table. He posing with it. So stop it. You care about belts. You just don't want them, the new generation. You don't want them to care about belts. You feel what I'm saying? Because, you don't want them to surpass you. You feel me? Rest in peace to the body snatcher. Absolutely. Mike McCallum. Rest in peace. I remember Kamel post-fight interview with Floyd, or should I say Floyd post-fight interview. Yeah, that was disgusting, bro. We over here trying to talk about Kamel. You know what's so funny, bro? Like Floyd, he always makes shit about him, bro. Like so a nigga could be winning a fight, and there'll be the post-fight press conference. He's supposed to celebrate the fighter who won, and Floyd want to talk about himself. There could be a press conference, like a final press conference and lead up to a fight. Instead of talking about the fight, Floyd gonna talk about himself. Then he even do little shit like I remember the one time, I forgot what card it was, but it was a Mayweather Promotions card. It was when this nigga was dressed like them horse jockeys and shit. He had the little hat on. He had them tight ass pants with them knee high boots and shit like that. Just dressed really weird. Nigga was on there talking about, this is, mind you, this is Mayweather Promotions, bro. They asked him to come up there and speak, and he was like, because it's Mayweather Promotions, you're Floyd Mayweather. This is your promotional company, so they're asking you to come on the mic, pause, and fucking, speak about this fight. He's like, I told myself that, I wasn't gonna get up here and talk about this, but nigga, you the promoter. So you the type nigga, you only want to get up and speak on the microphone. You only want to get up and speak on the microphone if it's you talking about yourself. Fuck your fighters. You don't want to sit there and talk about your fighters. You just want to talk about yourself. Even though this is you promoting a card that has your name on it. You got fighters signed to your promotional company. You don't want to talk about them. You want to talk about yourself. Floyd could have easily been one of the biggest promoters, in this day and age. But his ego has completely ruined that. Oh, man. Hold on, y'all. It is officially my son's birthday. It is officially my son's birthday. It is 12 in the morning on the East Coast. It is officially June 12th. And, for the sake of, possibly looking back on this, I just want to say to my son, happy birthday, son. I love you very much. I'm so happy to see you grow up and become the little man that you're becoming. And, Dad, your father's always here, regardless of what's going on, what drama's going on, whatever the case is. Your father is here for you. Your father loves you unconditionally, and I cannot wait to see you. My whole life is centered around you, and I'm so thankful that God put me in a position to be your father. Micah, Orland, Rosa, I love you very much, and I hope you enjoy your big day because your father will be with you soon. So I love you very much, man. Happy birthday to Micah. You know what I'm saying? This is a beautiful day for me. Like I said, this is going to be an emotional roller coaster for me. But, regardless, I'm happy. Definitely happy. So, yeah, let me go ahead and post that. Whew, man. My phone on 2%. Happy birthday, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Um, oh, man. My fault, yo. I'm just posting a few different pictures. 300 push-ups. Yeah, all right. I remember during the pandemic, I was doing like 600 though. I was doing like 600 a day. But nigga, that was the pandemic. That was 5 years ago. Cause, yeah, I mean, oh shit. Hold on, y'all. I'm posting all these pictures. I'm just posting. I got so many pictures of this boy, man. What we talking about? So let's get into some open boxing topics, man. Because to be honest with you, I was gonna talk about Hitchins and Kambosos, bro. But it's like it's hard for me to really speak on that fight. That shit, that fight ass, cuz I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Yeah, I mean. So let's get into some open boxing topics. Let me know what y'all want to talk about before I get up out of here. Don't sleep on the homie Kambosos. Really? How much you believing in him, Marlon? You believe in him? What you saying? You think he gonna give you think he gonna give him some problems? What you think? Yeah, Andy Cruz and Bozy locked in, man. That shit. Seeing them seeing they chemistry come together, and really you could tell Andy Cruz and Bozy's like the perfect fit for each other. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. They got Zach Quinn. That's good, man. I like Zach Quinn like that. You know what I mean? Zach Quinn done, well, he came in my DMs talking crazy, but it's all love. You feel me? I mean, he a kid. So I don't blame him. You know what I mean? Kids do kid shit, but he's a phenomenal talent. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Tramel Brown, he said Andy Cruz ain't never leaving Philly. That boy giving off a whole new aura from 3 years ago. Yeah, he's developing very well, man, and he's really learning the pro style. That shit just goes to show, um, how talented he is. Because the reality is, some amateurs they never get up out of their ways, and it'd be hard for them to transition to the pros. Especially when they was in the amateurs too long, and trying to adopt a whole new style in the pros. They don't adapt too well, and they end up not being as great of pros um, as they were amateurs. You feel me? Greg still knocked out. Yeah, they ain't. They was talking about he was taking a nap. They ain't no nap, cuz naps don't be that long, brother. My son said, "Fuck it, I'm out." So who's there? Oh man, let's check in on Greg, man. Let's check in on Greg. Yo, the nigga, the nigga just on there. Yo, everybody left. He just on there. Somebody call Greg phone, man. Yo, this is fuck. The nigga's snoring. Yo, Greg. Yo, that nigga wild. Bro, if you that tired, bro, don't go on the live. There be times where I be that tired, be like, bro, I'm gonna just take the day off. You feel me? God damn. I don't know. Listen, but yeah, man, I don't really care for Hitchins and Kambosos, but let's take a look at the card. You feel what I'm saying? Let's take a look at the card and see who's taking aware of. Quinn Moses versus Carl Rogers, 3-2. Okay. I don't know who Adam Maka is, but he's making his pro debut. I'm not really aware of Nishat Dev or Josue Silva. Terramona. This nigga got his first name the same as his last name. Some dude from Australia. His name is Terramona. Okay, he gotta be. He look like I don't know. Never mind. But he's 7-0. He's going up against a 9-0 Aleem Whitfield. I'm not really too savvy on either one of them dudes. Then we got Pablo Valdez. Not really familiar with him. Oh yeah, I know it, bro. He sucked, bro. That nigga is trash. But apparently, I heard this nigga sell a lot of tickets, so you know it is what it is. I see why they putting him on there. But that pretty boy Pablo, he fucking sucked, bro. Like that nigga is grade A ass, bro. Like I don't know who told this nigga like 9-0, bro. Shit. I remember he had one tough ass fight, and that shit was so trash. Like he was so ass, bro. Pretty boy Pablo, I got somebody for you to fight, nigga. You a super welterweight. You 42 years old, bro. You just boxing cause you know what I mean. You boxing cause you probably sell tickets. You trying to get a nice little bag. You trash, cuz. Pack him the fuck up. Who he fighting? This nigga fighting a 9-1. That's Edgar Berlanga, homie, too. Niggas suck ass. Andy Cruz versus Mashiro. I'm definitely looking forward to that. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a good John. For real, I'm really watching it just to see, you know, how Andy Cruz is progressing as a professional. You know what I mean? It's very impressive for him to have 5 professional fights. He's fighting the level of guys that he's fighting. You know what I mean? He's fighting a 17-1-1 in his next fight. You know what I mean? Andy Cruz, prior to that, he beat Orlando Salido Gomez, who was notorious for beating the dog shit out of Chris Colbert, one of my favorite fighters in the sport of boxing that I love to shit on. Not my favorite fighter, but my favorite fighter to shit on. You know what I mean? He fought Antonio Moran before that. You know what I mean? And he did his thing. He was able to get the stoppage and all that good shit. Antonio Moran done been in there with guys like Duno, Jermaine Ortiz, Arnold Barbosa. I think that's the dude that Devin Haney done put the fuck to bed. You feel what I'm saying? So Andy Cruz, he's fighting some good quality guys. You know what I mean? But yeah, I seen that Andy Cruz. I heard that Andy Cruz fight was a IBF eliminator. I heard it was a final eliminator. So if Andy Cruz comes out victorious, he might be the one that's mandated to fight Raymond Mordecai for his belt. And for real, that's the perfect opponent to go and fight for a belt, bro. He will beat Raymond Mordecai. Raymond Mordecai could rumble. Let's not get it fucked up, but you know what I mean? Like he got some like Raymond Mordecai got, solid punching power. He fundamentally sound. You know what I'm saying? He got some good shit behind him, but Andy Cruz got his skill set. He's the more talented fighter. I think he's the more athletic fighter. I think he got the faster hands. He may be the more experienced fighter overall, not in the pros, but overall, like experience in terms of like, the amateurs and shit like that. So I definitely think he can defeat Raymond Mordecai. So I think that's a good route that they going. If you look through every route, that's available in the lightweight division, you go to Gervonta Davis route, he not gonna fight you. The WBC route, that's a tough fight to be taken. Only 5 to 6 fights into the pros. The WBO is vacant. You know what I mean? It seems like Abdullah and Sam Noakes going to fight for that title before you. So the IBF route is a good opportunity for you, considering the fact that they just elevated Raymond Mordecai to the full status champion. So that's a good job. I think Andy Cruz will beat Mordecai, though. So if I'm Andy Cruz or I'm a part of Andy Cruz's team, we going that route off the rip. So good job. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. Raul said Farmer exposed some holes in Mordecai. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like Mordecai was like fighting solid guys and shit like that, but Tevin Farmer, this is the thing. Tevin Farmer gonna give anybody a little difficult fight. You know what I mean? His style is difficult to decipher. It's hard to figure out. He's beatable, obviously, but he's gonna give anybody a tough fight. That's just how these Philly fighters is. You feel me? Kelvin Davis learned that shit the hard way. Vito Milnicki, he learned that shit the hard way. You feel me? Like these Philly niggas be upsetting niggas. I remember when James Martin beat the shit out of Vito Milnicki. Had his nose all busted, and James Martin wasn't even known as like this big puncher. But he was lighting Vito the fuck up, beating his ass. And when James Martin missed weight against Vito in the rematch, he took that as an opportunity to get out the way, and they had James Martin fight big ass Joey Spencer instead. PBC want to get back for that shit. So he said, we're going to get his older white brother to kick your ass since you want to miss weight, motherfucker. No, Tramel, we not underestimating Raymond Mordecai at all. Like I said, Raymond Mordecai got a lot of good shit behind him. He got solid skills. The Modest Consumer, yeah, I was checking in on Greg, man. He rocked. I don't know what's going on. But what's hilarious is that people was just sitting on there still talking about the nigga sleeping. That's what's hilarious. This nigga's on live, knocked the fuck out. And he got how many viewers? Let me see. This nigga got 169 people watching him sleep. That's how you know Greg the man. You got 170 niggas that fuck with Greg so heavy. He not even talking. He not paying them any mind. This nigga is dreaming about pad work. And these niggas just watching him sleep. That shit is crazy. Greg is thinking about like a fucking game plan for a fighter. This nigga having the craziest dreams right now. And these niggas is watching him. Oh, Greg sleep, man. Like, fuck. They watching him snore. Like, that's crazy to me. I would feel kind of weird doing that. I'm checking in to see when he gonna wake the fuck up. Where nigga, my girl would not let me sleep on the couch, bro. I remember one time I passed out on the couch. My girl talking about, Mark, wake up. He slumped off the brownies. Damn. They saying his phone on Do Not Disturb. Well, if it's on Do Not Disturb, it'll ring when you call it twice. Yeah, he definitely slumped for sure. Mordecai also had a tough fight with Endogeny, where he struggled with the volume and lunging, and Endogeny is a known journeyman fought Haney, Mercado, Barbosa, and all. Yeah, I recall that fight. I definitely recall that fight. Look, Raymond Wardetaya, like I said, he got some solid skills. I wouldn't necessarily say he a bum or anything like that. But if we're comparing him with the other champions that's currently in the division, uh, he may be the weakest link. You know what I mean? He may be the weakest link. So this is the best route to go down if you're looking to become world champion and you Andy Cruz with 5 professional fights. You know what I mean? It's a good. I think it's the best route to take, and I think Eddie Hearn and them know that, so that's why they're exploring that avenue more than the other 3 avenues. Think about it. WBO route, Top Rank got that shit on lock. The WBC, I don't know if you should be fighting Shakur this early on in your career. I mean, that's not the safest bet. Got the WBA route with Tank. Tank not rumbling nobody. This nigga talking about retiring, and the plan is still the plan. So he not on that. So why sit in the WBA rankings when you know what I mean? He don't care to fulfill any type of mandatories. How many mandatories has Tank had in the WBA since he's gotten the title? Donuts, nigga. He hasn't had a motherfucking thing. He might fight somebody in his sanctioning body, but he not getting mandated to fight nobody because you know what he say? Oh, I don't care about no belt. You gonna give me a mandatory man? Man, you not gonna tell me who I'm gonna fight. You can have this belt in the WBA. Like, oh, we ain't about to fuck up this money with Tank. Let Tank do what he want. Let little Tank do what he want, so we can still get paid off him. We don't want to fuck up that money on some whole shit. Tramel Brown says, facts, Mordecai versus Cruz. It will be both of their tests and move a fight. It's perfect. I like it. It's a good fight. Top Rank versus Matchroom. That's a good job. Unless Turkey intercepted, that'd be a good fight. It'll be a really good fight, man. But anyways, man, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Shout out to the nation and the mob for coming through and showing love. This was an emotional live for me, and I apologize for that. Whenever it comes around this time of the year, it is, tough for me. I know this is only his 2nd birthday, but there's a lot of things that happen obviously within this year or so. That I'm still going through. And I appreciate everybody that's, been there for me since day one. It's bigger than boxing, and I appreciate you guys for that. So shout out to the nation and the mob. Everybody that's coming through and showing love as always. Shout out to Tramel. Let me see his name again. Tramel Browning for the $20 super chat earlier. That's very much appreciated, brother, man. Thank you. That shit goes further than you guys even know. But I'm going to go reminisce on my son. Probably shed a few more tears, but it is what it is. That comes with being a man and, having unconditional love for somebody. It is what it is. I'll be back at y'all with another live tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that one. I should be in a better place mentally, of course, but we'll see. And if not, then I'll just see y'all the following day. Shout out to the nation and the mob. If y'all can go ahead and hit the like button, that'll be very much appreciated. Y'all have a blessed night. Peace.